Welcome back to the King Josiah TV podcast, where this show was created to educate, promote, and influence the kingdom of Jesus Christ in this world. I am your host, Josiah. And before we get started, I need you guys to do me a huge favor. If you're listening on YouTube, I know a lot of you people that click on the videos, you are not subscribed yet. So please do me a favor. Right below, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. But if you're listening audibly on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, go ahead and give me that follow. But all right, guys, let's jump into today's show.
Minority flexing my God and all of his authority. Practice was preaching purity, priority. Can't conform to it even if maturity. Choose to go that way, God has been restoring me. They grilling the boy, cause I won't let them George forming me. Try to put me in a box, I got off the ropes, I won't let them corner me. God has been warning me, telling me, tell his people ain't no room for lukewarming me. Order me, Lord, it be your will, it never was mine. Like Amazon Prime, his turnaround time around prayer.
We are 2 episodes away from 50. So thank you guys. Clap it up for you, the ones that have been sticking along, watching all the material, keeping up with me, guys. We are getting in the thick of it. But all right, guys, we're going to go ahead without further ado, jump into today's show. I got a lot going on. Stay towards the end to watch the entire clip. You don't want to miss a minute of this. But all right, guys, we're going to go and jump into our first subject of today. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be Montell Jordan. He was recently on a podcast with Cam Newton, and he was talking about his association with the Kappa for the last 37 years. 37 years. And he had an interesting take on this, and I think that this is important for the Christian community because this has been a point of tension amongst Christians. Should we be leaving, especially African American Christians, should we be leaving these fraternities? Should we stay within these fraternities? Is this actually biblical? Is it not? I've got my own personal beliefs and take on this. We're going to dive into that here in a moment, but I'm going to let Montell speak first, and then I'm going to give my intake. So just a moment, guys. I'll pull him up now.
For, I guess, going on maybe 36, 37 years. For me, because I am a man of God, I don't bow to no other gods. I trust in Jesus, and I feel like I've been able to say.
Let's pause right here because this is important. We talk a lot about on this platform about calling, purpose, building for the kingdom. But let's talk about something real this time. If God were to call you home today, would you actually be covered? Or would your family be left with just picking up the pieces? See, stewardship isn't just about being spiritual. It's about being practical. It's about how you lead. It's about how you prepare. It's about how you protect the family that God entrusted you with. Life insurance isn't just about money. This is about legacy. This is about security. This is about your family security, your children being taken care of. Your assignment doesn't just have to die with you. This is real leadership. So if you've been putting this off or you're not sure where to start, I want to help you with that. Hit the link below and book a call, and let's get you covered the right way. Because let me tell you something, kingdom men and women, we don't just pray, we prepare. You don't bow to any other gods, but you have oaths to an entity that is more than just your yes being yes or your no being no. Okay, let me stop. I'm supposed to let these videos play. I'm letting them play.
Separate what an organization does and what my faith is, because my faith has nothing to do with the Kappa organization. Right. I will say that I made sure that I circle back around to be able to say to God, hey, me joining this organization, if there was anything that I did or anything that I said, any oaths, any rituals, anything that I may have done that crossed the line between us, I will renounce that because I'm not going to bow down and put myself in a position, you know what I'm saying, that where me and God is at odds because I'm trying to hold on to something.
But you said you and God are not at odds and trying to hold on to something. But we all know that these sororities and fraternities, they have oaths, they have certain things that you do and acts to get in them that are giving yourself allegiance to something more than just being within a group, and more than just with it being inside of a entity that's just, oh, we do good for the community. God says you shall serve no other but me, no idols before me. So if this is not an idol in your life, and it's got things that are contrary to the word of God, that just now became an idol in your life. You can't rationalize and say, oh, I'm going to not do this and not do this. No, you can't do that. God says, serve me or not at all. So either you're going to fully serve these things, these entities, when it comes to these sororities, or you're going to completely pull out of it. There's no in between.
I do believe that the brotherhood that I forged in 30-something years, the members that founded Kappa Alpha Psi were Christians. And so from that standpoint, what it has done in the African-American community, what it's done for Black men, I'm able to separate that. I'm a man of God. I worship nobody.
First off, if a Christian creates an entity that turns into something like this, they weren't true men or women of God. God says in the day of the Lord, he was saying, many will say, I prophesied in your name. I did this in your name. He said, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. You cannot have a hand in evil and have a hand in things that are completely in opposition of God, but then call yourself a believer. So that's the issue in today's world. We want to smush God into everything that we have. Like God isn't holy, like God isn't separate from everything else that we have are involved with. I'm gonna let him finish this clip, guys, and we're gonna get into some other things.
But Jesus Christ. And from that standpoint, I still can have a relationship with these brothers. And maybe I don't do all the, I don't wear the paraphernalia like I used to. Maybe I'm not out, doing all the stuff I used to do. But when people see me, they know bro, it's been 30-something years.
Yeah.
And so from that standpoint, I am confident that me and God are cool and me and the organization are cool. I've been a Kappa now for.
All right. So we had that clip come out. And guys, I wanted to bring up actually some things that were spoken by some other Christian believers, but I just want to start with one verse and then I'm going to get into that because I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the most well-versed and educated on these sororities and fraternities, but I know the word of God and I study the word of God in context enough to know about these sororities. I don't have to be in them. I don't have to be involved in them to know this. And that's another deception of the enemy, that people try to say, oh, you can't speak on this because you're not in our private organization. If your organization was so of God or so not of the enemy, why do you get so irritated when people say this is outwardly against the word of God and try to say just because we're not into it, we're not conscious enough to or have the wherewithal to be like, okay, this is not of God. This is something that is an opposition of the God we serve. So the first verse, guys, I want to talk on teaching it comes from Matthew 6:24 in the New Testament, where Jesus states, no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. Guys, the core message is about undivided loyalty. You can't have your heart fully set on spiritual truth and earthly riches at the same time, because it demands will have an uneven conflict between those two things. So guys, reading that there, I want to jump into someone that has a little bit more knowledge on this, that actually spoke, and I actually read this in the comment section. I want to pull it up on the screen. It was Ezekiel from We Need to Talk podcast. Pretty sure a lot of you have seen his stuff. And he made a comment, and I don't know if you guys can fully read this. I'm going to actually read it from my phone because I can't even read it on the screen. But I wanted to show you, he commented on his video that Cam Newton posted on YouTube. Not on YouTube, but on Instagram. So what Ezekiel said, he said, I truly like Montell, but to bow to other gods, I think is the most part. There's a great ignorance on what idolatry is. When God called Abraham to kill Isaac, his intention was to rid Abraham of the potential of idolatry in his heart. Thus, do not lay your hand on the child to harm him, for now I am your Lord. This is beloved son. This is my beloved son, Abraham. Would have never bowed to Isaac. Idolatry exists when there is anything or anyone that will cause you to decline in the voice of God. That's the decline from the voice of God. Trying to read his words and make them sound good. Ezekiel's words. It's whatever you commit to or benefit from that misaligns you with the true and only God. That's so on point. Anything that misaligns you from the true and only God. It's whatever you latch on to that feeds you that feed you in ways that are only reserved for God. Certain things are only reserved for God. Until this day, I haven't heard one legit reason why it is fruitful or for a disciple of Jesus Christ to pledge. I hear you about blackness, though. What I can appreciate is that he's willing to question the problem that he knows very well, that there are things with the oaths and rituals and practices that he does not believe are approved by God, which I did appreciate that he at least acknowledged that. But he still was, again, he won't let go of his allegiance to these organizations. So I'm gonna read the rest. He's got a little bit more. He wrote a lot. He wrote a lot of them. I just thought it was so good. I just had to read the whole thing. Praying for him and others and fellow Christians. Fellow Christians. Let me see. Yeah, fellow Christians and fellow Christians that are involved in this, and to ask them to pause and confront the obvious problems with these things. So I just thought that what Ezekiel said was so on point and so accurate that I couldn't not, go about, talking about what Ezekiel said, because Ezekiel was so on point. He's interviewed people that have been involved in these sororities and fraternities. He's been around them. Ezekiel, and there's just so many other believers that I see standing up that used to be within these organizations and are saying, no, this is not of God. This is of Satan. These entities and sororities are celebrating and are putting things up that are of things that are not of the Lord. Greek mythology, all the little if you look back, and I've done my research, if you look back on every one of these individual groups that people just so locked hold on, they are all involved in things that are apart from God. These are things that are of witchcraft. These are things that are of entities, again, that are apart from God. And I think the simplest way that we can say this, and I won't go on to repeat myself, is the core message is about undivided loyalty. These people are so loyal to these entities. You cannot have your heart fully set on spiritual truth and earthly riches at the same time, because they both equally have their demands and will eventually conflict with each other. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up today's podcast here. Again, this is episode number 48 of the King Josiah TV podcast, guys. We're almost 50 episodes in. I want you to be a part of the family. I want you to be a part of the rise of this channel. Guys, remember, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. Please share this video with somebody you think might encourage by this content or enjoy this content as well. You guys, I want you to argue with me in the comments. I want you to drop some comments. I know some things we talked about are controversial. You may not agree with me. Hey, maybe you agree with me. Go ahead and talk back to me, guys. I love to hear back from you. But all right, guys, I will see you guys again next week for the King Josiah TV podcast. You guys enjoy your week. Bye.
My salvation on me like it's a helmet. The way it's to sin is death, for send you to hell quick. Wanted to be all about me, God, I was selfish. I was rebellious.